There's be attempted telephone conversation with Kevin Pillsbury at Duluth Law, phone number 218-722-60, date November 30, 2018, time about 3:08 p.m., reference case number 180-15405.
Please enter your author. Good afternoon, Johnson, Killen, and Seiler.
Kevin Pillsbury, please.
One moment, please.
Kevin, hi, my name's Chad Clefman. I'm an investigator with the Brainerd Police Department.
Hi.
Hi. So, a long story short, I'm doing a conflict investigation on behalf of Grand Rapids PD in reference to a Michelle Saldo report regarding Brian Johnson and his firing in Itasca County and that being released to their newspaper. It was public or private confidential data that was released to newspapers, so it's in essence a misdemeanor investigation. Kind of going through different information I obtained. Looks like Sheriff Williams forwarded that report to you, and there's some email conversations back and forth. Primarily, I'm touching base with everybody that saw that report and asking primarily one question: if they forwarded the information to anybody, and specifically to the Grand Rapids Herald Review newspaper.
No.
Okay. So just kind of trying to do the due diligence and talking to everybody that saw it and trying to get to the bottom of who gave it to the newspaper. So that's kind of what
Understanding. And I guess I'm sure you probably need to speak to him too. I would imagine Joe Roby at this office was included on some of those emails. I can answer that he would also respond no, but if you need to speak to him as well, that's understandable.
Yeah, and at some point there's a few different people. The one thing from talking to Brett Skiles, I guess what's the purpose that Sheriff Williams forwarded to you? Are you his personal attorney, or just kind of some advice as far as if it's? I mean, the content of the email was primarily asking opinion about if it's confidential or private, and as far as the Saldo report. So I guess what's...
Yeah, we had, and depending on the context of the information, do represent the office of the sheriff. So not Victor Williams independently as an individual citizen, but the office of the sheriff. We were hired as independent counsel, approved by the county for the office of the sheriff, stemming back to an issue relating another employee that kind of, all of this stuff had become interrelated at various points.
Right.
So, I mean, it had been kind of an ongoing thing.
Okay.
And obviously, the deeper context of our representation is subject to privilege, but
right.
That's essentially what this office was involved in.
Okay. So you don't represent Vic himself, just the office of the sheriff, and okay, so it's not out of the realm that he would forward that to you to get your opinion?
Correct.
Yeah, okay. All right. And, as far as when you guys get it, what do you typically do? Do you delete it? Do you print it? Do you shred it? What's the normal or in this case, what would you do with it when you get it emailed?
I would have opened it, would have read it. I don't particularly remember, obviously not having in front of me what the extent of the discussion was, so I can't speak to exactly what the responsive email would have been, but usually what happens is Joe Roby and I work together on this file, so usually when anything came in, we would discuss it together and provide the sheriff with an appropriate response.
Okay. All right. You can vouch that you don't have assistants there that would have saw it or could have saw it and sent it off or anything along that line?
Yes, I can vouch that. I'm fairly certain, I'm not stating to be 100% sure, like I said, I don't have the email, but I'm fairly certain that any emails that the sheriff would send to this office would have been limited to me and or Joe Roby. I don't think there would have been any. I don't even think he would know what our secretaries' names are to be able to CC it as assistant or anything like that. Yeah,
I just, sometimes the people legal assistant are in the same email and have ability to open and see it and things along that line. So, okay.
Yeah, I can't speak for Joe as far as if, the particular matter that we had been primarily involved in with the sheriff, where there would have been required where we, print and retain correspondence for our own files. I know I didn't. I don't know if this particular email would have been printed for our own file for, just keeping correspondence. But however, even if it had been, it's our own private, attorney-client file.
Yep.
It would have been maintained, retained, and not distributed outside of this office, that's for sure.
Okay. All right. Well, Kevin, I appreciate your time. Anything more that you can think of, or?
Not that I'm aware of. I'm sorry, can I get your name again? I didn't catch it.
Sure. First name Chad, C-H-A-D.
Okay.
Last name Klefman, K-L-E. 2 F's like in Frank, M-A-N. And it's
you're with Brainerd PD?
Yeah, Brainerd PD, yep.
Okay. All right. Well, I appreciate your time. If you have any further questions, feel free to call.
All right, thank you.
All right, thanks a lot.
Yep, bye.
Bye.
This is Chad.
Rick Hodgson returning your voicemail message.
Oh, hi, Rick. Thanks for calling back. That was quick.
Yes. I stepped away from my desk.
Okay.
I better get done or else I'm getting old. I'll forget otherwise.
Okay. Long story short, I am doing a conflict investigation for Grand Rapids Police Department in reference to private data release prior to the election with Sheriff Williams and Brian Johnson. There was a release of the Saldo report regarding Brian Johnson to their newspaper, and that was private confidential data, and they asked us to do a conflict investigation to attempt to determine who released the private data to the newspaper.
Okay.
As part of that investigation, I've done several things through Itasca County and saw that the report was forwarded to you at one point from Sheriff Williams. I guess need to talk to everybody kind of to make sure that just get their word, or that they didn't forward it to anybody, or that they know if they have any information of who did forward it to anybody, as far as to the newspaper, that kind of thing. So I'm just doing the due diligence and checking with everybody. So
I received it from, I'm not even sure if it was a full report, but a portion from Sheriff Williams by virtue of my position as attorney for the Sheriff's Association and legal consultant, therefore, for the various sheriffs.
Well, let me write this down. Let's say attorney for the Sheriff's Association.
Yep, I'm the attorney for the Minnesota Sheriff's Association. One of the, I don't represent individual sheriffs or sheriff's office in court. I serve as their legal advisor. In other words, I assist. So the analogy, let's see, you guys, for example, you got your county attorney. Obviously, you got Don's office for criminal prosecution, but the sheriff's office at least has a separate outside attorney that deals with labor relations issues.
Okay.
I perform a similar role. So material that's submitted to me by a sheriff in this context would be subject to attorney-client privilege, just like giving it to the county attorney, or in your case, your city attorney. And so what I could tell you is what I received was never forwarded on to any third party.
Okay. That you and nobody from your office forwarded it to anybody.
I'm the only one I'm the only attorney for the Sheriff's Association office, so I'm I'm a one-man band. I don't even have a legal assistant to help me.
Okay.
So no, not even a legal. There's not even a legal assistant, a paralegal, anybody. There could not possibly be an office clerical person associated with me that would have ever leaked it.
Okay.
And as an officer of the court, I will represent you. I certainly did not.
Right. Well, I just need to touch base with everybody that did see it and have it, and I appreciate it.
I understand. We had just a couple election cycles ago. We have our emergency contact list wearing my other hat in the county attorney's office, and somebody sent campaign literature to everybody's home addresses that worked in our office, and we spent, actually by coincidence, it was Michelle Saul who did the investigation. Wound up paying her $15,000 or $20,000 to do the exact same thing you're doing, and she brought in literally everybody in the office. Did you do this? And the answer, somebody gave her a false answer because obviously this was done, but she did what she could do, and that was why I didn't do that. But, but like I say, there's nobody in that. I have no clerical staff, no office staff, so I can vouch for them because they don't exist, and I can tell you, no, I did not forward it on to anyone, and I actually didn't even preserve a copy. So, to the extent there was a risk of something getting hacked, I reviewed it on these things, and when since I'm not covered by the public records law when I do these things for the sheriffs, I don't even keep that on file because I have this paranoia about hacked and people being reviewed. So,
right.
What was sent to me has long ago been deleted.
Okay.
And I never printed it. The other thing is, to cover all your bases, did I ever print any copies that could have fallen into the wrong hands? The answer is no, I did not.
Okay. Great.
So it's not been forwarded, copied, printed, or accessed by any third party because no one but me has access to the email that was sent to me.
Okay. Great. All right. And on just full disclosure, when I get a phone call, I always turn a tape recorder on, so if it's just let you know that being recorded here and so forth. So that's all.
Anytime I get a phone call, but in this day and age, I assume it's me.
Yeah, no, I'm just.
But I appreciate your candor, but
just out of fairness, yes, that's all.
I would tell you the same. I would testify to the same thing under oath.
No, and I'm not saying that. Nothing to do with anything to do with that.
I appreciate your professionalism about it.
Just letting you know that we're all kind of in the same boat in the same field, and I appreciate you having a conversation with me, and that's all. So I appreciate your time.
Well, good luck tracking it down. These are not easy. I have worked these investigations, and you're kind of chasing ghosts.
Well, there's a lot of things in computers these days that we can get, so that's the reason why I'm calling you, is because going through information leads to a lot more information. So otherwise, I'd have had no idea that you received a copy if I didn't go through certain things. So
you might not even know I exist if you hadn't. But
that's right. But it's nice to talk to you, and I appreciate your time. Thank you.
No problem. Good luck.
Yep. Bye-bye.